Welcome
to the joy of coding.
Hello, and welcome to episode 419 of The Joy of Coding. My name is Mike Conley. It's so good to have you here on this November day. It's November 5th. I'm just coming off a bit of a sore throat. I've got some Fisherman's Friend. I'll be having some Fisherman's Friend. You'll probably see me popping these so that I can keep talking. I'm not sponsored by Fisherman's Friend, but if they wanted to throw some free package is my way, I'd be much obliged. I've been going through a lot of them. They're very good. Okay, let's get started. Yeah, today is November 5th, 2025, episode 419. A reminder, no plan survives breakfast. I think I know what I want to do today. I kind of have a generalized sense of where I want things to go, but who knows how it'll go. It might go sideways, might get stuck, might get, distracted. Any number of things could occur, and that's okay. We're just going to deal with it as the episode proceeds and just see what happens. That's the first thing. Second thing, the agenda that we're looking at. Full of handy-dandy links, and I'll be filling it out, as the episode proceeds. You have access to it. If you're watching this on Amazilla, check out the details section over that away. If you're watching this on YouTube, check out the video description for a link. And if you're watching this on Twitch, it's down in the channel details. Today's episode is brought to you by HTTP status code 419, which I was disappointed to not find a Keanu code for it, and Keanu code. But that's also because I realized, looking into it, there is no status code 419, or at least the IANA, which, is a governing body that helps define the usages of these status codes. So let's take a look at this. It's the Internet, Internet Assigned Numbers Authority. So they oversee global IP address allocation, autonomous system, one of DNS stuff. One of the things that they also seem to be interested in is HTTP status codes, which is strange because you'd think that like HTTP falls more within the web part of it's maintained by the IANA, but is, let's see, standardized codes defined by the, so it's the IETF that's maybe like actually defining, but it's maintained by the IANA. I don't know. But the TLDR is that there's no 419. 419 is unknown. Or like 418 was I'm a Teapot, and then they like skipped a couple, and now we have some other ones over here, which is very interesting. I did note, however, that there are some frameworks that very good, Vadimon. Your mom said you could become anything, and you chose to become failure HTTP 419. Great. Laravel would interpret you as being a CSRF token expiry or being missing. So that's interesting. Failure, also a great band. If you're into sort of, what would I call Failure? Kind of shoegaze. That's a good band. I don't know what I'd call Failure as a band. Failure. Alternative rock from LA. I'm a fan of this band. All right, well, that's the HTTP status code. I also want to mention I'm traveling next week. I will not be able to stream. I apologize. I know streams have gotten really interrupted. I basically skipped almost all of October. I was able to stream last week, but I believe there's only 2 more interruptions before the winter holidays. One of them is next week. Another one will be at the beginning of December, and then there'll be the winter holidays. But it won't. I think the bumpiest part of 2025, Joy of Coding episode wise, is over, is past us. Okay, so what did I want to do today? Today I wanted to try to clean up the handoff search bar. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know what the words are coming out of my mouth? Let's pull down the latest. Nothing's changed. Okay, great. Let's build central. Let's do an artifact build. Let's quickly talk about the handoff bar. So maybe you recall last week I may have referred to it. This search input here kind of masquerades as a search input. But really what it does is when you start typing, like failure, it just redirects the keystrokes. It just sends you up to the search input. And this was because back when this got introduced, now I wasn't part of this project. I mean, I'm filling in some blanks here, but I believe this is going to be my hypothesis. This was right around the time where we were starting to merge the separate search input, which if you don't remember the separate search input, it still exists, but it's off by default. Well, for the longest time, Firefox had two where is it? Search. Firefox tended to look like this, where you had like a URL bar and then you had a search input. And then a lot of work went into making it so that you could search from the URL bar. So we could simplify the toolbar here. You didn't have to have two inputs on the toolbar by default. And you know, like it's fairly common now. I can't think of any mainstream browsers that have like a search input on the toolbar before, but that used to be the way it was. Like, let's take a look at what Firefox 4 looked like when it first went out the door. Pretty noisy, some toolbars in there, but yeah, that was the way it was. It was like URL bar, search input, and that was pretty typical. I'm trying to think of other browsers that were around that time, like Opera. Let's look at Opera 10 browser. What was the last Opera? Yeah, Opera also had like the URL bar and then the search input. That was pretty typical. And then Vadamon says that I still use the separate search bar for Quick UX. Yeah, and that's fine. You know, like we've still got it as an option. You can put it back. It's in the customize mode. It's just not the default. And when we started to do that, when we wanted to merge these things, we wanted to train people, sort of get them used to the idea that they could search from the URL bar. And so it used to be the case, actually, that you'd have like the search input on the URL bar, the URL bar on the tool. Sorry, you had the URL bar on the toolbar, the search input on the toolbar, and you also have a search in the new tab. So you had like 3 search inputs to choose from. That's a lot of search inputs. And so, you know, we collapsed, we merged the search input from here into here, and then this was also an attempt to kind of like tell people, hey, you can search from the URL bar, like you can search from it. So like that's why we have this like handoff mode. So you can like, it redirects the search input, the search focus up there. The hope being that more people would realize, hey, you can like search from up there. And like when you open a new tab, the URL bar is what is focused for searching. So that was the idea. Now, wasn't always the case. You used to be able to search normally on the new tab page. If you turn off the handoff mode, I believe you can type in here, failure. And then you get this really old school drop down. This is very similar, I think, to what you get when you use the separate search input. Yeah, very similar. And that mode is not supported. We actually want to get rid of that mode. The plan is to actually eventually replace, so that mode is off by default. There's not like really a pref in the settings proper to get back to that old mode. That handoff pref I just flipped was for the rollout of that mode, but we do not support the old mode, and we're going to get rid of it. But there is work underway to stop doing the handoff thing and to actually make this a fully fledged search input again with the same power and flexibility as the one up here. Now, that's called the Multi-Context Address Bar project. It's currently underway from the search team. But what I'd like to do, this is all kind of tangential, or this is flavor for the thing that we were working on last week, which is to make it possible for other teams to embed their stuff more easily in NewTab. And so we want to start by having the search input be a thing that is embedded and not hard-coded into the NewTab page, that we'll have like our registry thing, and then we'll pull in the search input. But we don't want to... what happened with the search bar being able to change the search engine hitting the arrow keys? Search engine with the arrow keys, like this? Like this? Like this? Is this what you mean? I'm changing my search engine with the arrow keys. DuckDuckGo. Is that what you mean? Okay. Anyways, so before we start doing that embedding thing, I want to be able to simplify it a lot. So, and by simplify it, we're going to get, you cannot do that, WTF. Well, so here's how I'm doing it. I've got my search input, my URL bar focused here. I'm going to shift tab over to the selector, shift tab over to the selector, and then down arrow key. Does that work for you? And then all these different things that you can do, including actions like, let's take a screenshot. There. That's pretty cool. But before it was just the arrows. Right, but like before, well, actually, look at that. If I down arrow, how is this? If I focus the URL bar and down arrow, these are the different things that are available to me. Yeah, it was a different way before, and now it's different. I'm sorry. You can still keyboard choose your search input, but it's different now. Shift tab, choose your search engine. I think the evaluation was like people aren't changing their search engine frequently enough to justify having it be like the first thing that happens when you hit the down arrow. Rather, we're going to, this is a profile where like these are just the top sites, but like we're going to put your most commonly browsed places up there. A kite is like, sorry, I didn't want to derail you. Mission failed. I am distracted. What is interesting though is I wanted to mention, if you could, so let's say I wanted to search with DuckDuckGo. If I use the @ symbol and then type in duck, then tab, that also allows you to quickly search with DuckDuckGo. Failure banned. And that has like changed my search engine. So that's one way of doing it. And then if I focus the URL bar and hit backspace, it'll go back to the default. But like @Bing. And I don't even have to type the full thing. I just type in @BI and that's enough. Or @DU tab and that's enough. Which, you know, things change, gang. Things change. And I'm sorry. Like we've spent a lot of time and effort trying to make the URL bar do lots of stuff. And I think the evaluation was like that changing the search engine is not what the URL bar should do for the first thing whenever you hit the down arrow. The down arrow should be what's the place you're most likely wanting to get to. Wikipedia's default, so if you have Wikipedia ES, you can never autocomplete to that if you have Wikipedia in many languages. So search shortcuts. I am getting distracted. So I guess you could like remove or change that to like when. Oh, can't remove Wikipedia, but maybe I can add Wikipedia. Let's see, French Wikipedia. Let's see what this is like. I don't want to translate it. I want it to be in French. Search engine name, French. I'll just say Wikipedia FR. URL. Oh, you know what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to right click here and add search engine. And then over here, we're going to say, can I do Wikipedia? Currently in use. No, can't do it. So I guess that's like, that is taken, but I can do like FWiki. So FWiki, there. You have to. Ooh, today I learned about actions. The URL bar is now also command panel. It's lots of stuff. It's so much stuff. It's so much stuff. It's so powerful. It is kind of like a command line. Actions. Add-ons. Manage extensions. Boom. Okay, but if you add with a different suffix, that doesn't work. If I use a different suffix, you mean like Wikipedia FR. Wikipedia FR. It does if I complete it, but you're right in that it's going to assume I mean Wikipedia if I'm typing Wikipedia. In this particular case, I think you are correct. So what I would do if I were you is I would change your shortcut to be like don't use a suffix, use a prefix. That's my recommendation. So like FR wiki. FR. Boom. Or I don't know. Use a different symbol. Like see all these different symbols that you can supply? I'll use the Can I use the $sign symbol? Is that okay? $sign. No, that didn't appear to work. Can I supply ampersand? I don't think it knows what I'm talking about. No. All right, that doesn't work. I don't know. I'm just trying stuff. I had to delete the default one because you can't just configure it. So that's one option. Maybe I just delete that one. Then I can make this be Wikipedia. Oh, it's already taken. But I'll bet you Wikipedia FR. Yeah, there you go. There's your option. It's like Wikipedia. It's still there. It's one of the defaults. It's just like a reserved one, is my guess. In general, it's really cool. Hey, glad to hear it. Okay, I'm gonna stop being distracted. But yeah, the URL bar, very powerful, very configurable. Maybe it's it's like insanely powerful. And we're gonna try bringing it into the home, the new tab. That's the goal. But we've got to get rid of this. Well, that's going to take a lot of work to make it work in the content area. And in the meantime, we don't want to have the search team need to learn how to put stuff in the new tab page. So that's where all this embedding stuff comes in. And we're going to pilot out embedding this old handoff one. But I want to simplify it first. So that's what today's project is going to be about. We're going to simplify the handoff search bar. So the handoff search bar is held in a couple different places. There's content search UI. There's content search UI CSS. There's content search UI.html. This is a test. Okay, this is a test. I think these are the main things. And then there's also the hard-coded DOM nodes that the search input expects. That the search node expects. So I think the first thing I want to do is get rid of the ability to do handoff. That's the first thing. So I can see that there's this like handoff enabled props thing. We're going to see how that's plumbed through. And we're just going to get rid of it. Handoff to awesome bar. We're just going to get rid of it. Okay, so that's first step. Get rid of handoff to awesome bar. Pref and prop flag. Get rid of non-handoff support. And then the last part, I don't know if we'll be able to get to this. Make content search completely self-contained as a custom element using a shadow DOM and stuff. That's what we're going to try and do today. So let's start by getting rid of this pref. This is going to involve a little bit of this like new tab stuff that we have, JSX stuff that I'm not the biggest fan of, but hey, that's sometimes how it works. Handoff to awesome bar. Handoff to awesome bar and new tab. There's a little bit of there's some stuff in here. Records whether the handoff is enabled. That's from back in the day. So we're going to want to get rid of that. Oh, that expired. That's going to expire. When did this get bumped? Oh, so that's interesting. We're collecting a measurement on whether or not it's enabled or disabled. We have been for a long time. So I'll write these patches, but I should probably ensure, and I'd done some of this, but I was not aware of this probe. We should make sure that there aren't like an enormous number of people that have somehow found this pref and turned it off. So, because that would like greatly disrupt them, and we should probably have the new replacement in place before we remove the old support. I'm not going to let that stop me from writing these patches for now. It'll stop me from landing these patches until we can do that analysis, but that's good to know. And then the prefs feed, we're going to get rid of this stuff. And the telemetry feed. And there's some tests to get rid of. Okay, well, let's start with the prefs feed. Or no, let's start with the JSX stuff first. Let's start with the JSX. So we'll start with base.jsx, handoff, search handoff enabled. Where's that going? It's just being set as a property here. We're going to get rid of that. We're going to get rid of this. Okay. And then inside of search.jsx, if not handoff enabled, do these things. So these things will be done by default. Otherwise, if handoff enabled, if not handoff enabled, okay, so we're getting rid of these things basically, because handoff is enabled by default. So we will put these here. Get rid of that. All the support for handoff. All right. And then we need to rebuild the bundle. I got this logger running, which is annoying me. I'm going to disable that log. Log level. Stop. Okay, so mock new tab build. No, mock new tab. What is the command? Mock new tab bundle. Okay, build faster. Run. Okay. So we've got the handoff support working, and now if I disable the handoff flag, this should still do the handoff, right? So that's good. So that was the intent, and now we're going to get rid of the actual handoff pref. Prefs feed was one place. Where was the other one? Prefs feed, telemetry feed. List of prefs to watch. Pref map. Okay. So, well, we don't need that anymore, so we're going to get rid of these. And that's it. And then telemetry feed was the other one. Handoff. We are going to stop collecting that. And then, I guess we can get rid of this metric. So that's new tab. New tab, metrics, handoff. Now there's other handoff stuff in here. That's the one I just removed. The handoff. Okay. Just that a handoff occurred. That's what and that's fine. We'll continue to do that one. This will now build. I believe there are some tests to update. Search test. should render when handoff is enabled. Should render search element handoff element, search handoff element. Should hand off search when a button is clicked. Should hand off search on paste. Handle drop events. So handoff enabled. That's what I'm looking for. There's only 2 instances. Okay. Now, render should listener content search client on render. I'll be interested in knowing if that actually passes now. Let's just see. Mock npm run test mc unit prefix browser extensions. Okay. Blue Jays. Oh, I just broke my own heart. Okay, so that's busted. That is broken. Oh, Nelly. Big ol' error message. What's going on? When attempting to do search, should listen for content search client on render. Right. I believe that only occurs in the non-handoff case. Am I right? Am I right? If input yeah, on input mount, I'm pretty sure there's more to do here. So search.jsx on input mount. There is no on input. We got rid of the other one. I don't know why that's there. But the old one, whoops. No. Here. There are old references here on input mount and on search click that I think we can get rid of. And trending searches. Okay. So we can get rid of on input mount. And we can get rid of deleting that. And what else was there? On input mount, on search click. Yeah, that's not used anymore. It's all kind of icky. Okay. What is that doing there, I wonder? Okay. Okay, so then back to the test. G. Content search should not do that anymore. Should not do these things because like content search client, that's not going to do that anymore. It should not do this anymore. Yeah, there is no, you can't search from it anymore. Okay, so let's run those tests again. No syntax highlighting for JSX and SearchFox? Nope. But I believe we had filed a bug. I had syntax highlighting for JSX files. Who filed it? Me, 3 years ago. And then someone, open for mentorship. If someone's using JSX and the Firefox code base, which there aren't many of us, and I'm not a huge fan of it, but if you want JSX support, this is how you can do it. I will put a link to that bug in the notes. JSX support to SearchFox. That might be a fun project at some point. So what happened here? Big ol' error. Big error. What's happening? What happened? Webpack bundling. And then big error. Big error because adjacent JSX elements must be wrapped in an enclosing tag. Oh, that thing did have a purpose. Okay. That is wild. But okay. That's what it was doing. Adjacent tags, but like I don't have adjacent tags, so I think we're good. I think we can just get rid of that now. 2022 big sad. Yeah, I mean, be the change you want to see in the world, am I right? Do these things that Aseth is talking about. Okay, so 1,639 tests completed, tests pass. Amazing. So let's now do a quick build. Let's make sure it behaves as we'd expect. More Fisherman's Friend. I'm just powering these down. Sugar-free. Oh my goodness. And gluten-free. No wonder these aren't that chewy. Allow lozenge to dissolve slowly in the mouth. I have not been doing that. I definitely have been chewing on them. Sweetened with sorbitol. Luckily, there are medicinal ingredients. Hold up. Mission. What do we have here? It's in French. Oh, no, sorry. Medicinal ingredients. It's got menthol. I don't know if I'd call that a medicinal ingredient. Is anyone here a fan of Buckley's? You know what I'm talking about? Buckley's? My dad would give me that when I had a sore throat. He'd be like, try this. Buckley's. Cough syrup. What does it look like? This stuff. And it's so, like, strong. Oh, I didn't realize it's Canadian. It's so strong that, like, they made it part of their brand, where I think the tagline is, it, like, tastes awful, and it works. It tastes awful, and it works. And I remember it's absolutely true. It would blow my sinuses apart. But it worked. My sore throat would go away, and like all congestion would just get wiped out. It was basically like the nuclear menthol option. It was powerful stuff. Okay, the last thing to do, I think. Well, no, there's probably more here. I'll bet you there's more. There's always more money in the banana stand. Tests. Now, these tests are all under search, but, oh, maybe there aren't any tests to worry about. Let's run the tests. This is a real pain. I've been getting this warning today. And that's with a recent poll. I hope it goes away soon. But maybe I'll be the change I want to see in the world. Mock, test, browser. Extensions, new tab, test, browser. Headless. Let's see this thing. Oh, Craig. Yeah, you're Canadian, so you know about Buckley's. Is there anyone in the chat outside of Canada who knows what Buckley's is or has ever tried Buckley's? I'm very curious. Oh, I'm seeing explosions. I'm seeing explosions. Fail, fail, fail. Browser AS render. Test render search. Okay, well that explains it. Let's see what it's talking about. Don't know. Browser AS render. Activity stream render search. Aha! So are there other things that are messing around with this pref in tests that are in new tab? There are two. Okay, so we can get rid of this. Test. Don't want that one anymore. Test new tab. We don't need to do it before. And off. And then there's another test, browser new tab, Glean. And off. That's interesting. What new tab? Handoff performance telemetry. Is this meant to test Glean in general on new tab? I'm gonna guess not. Browser new tab Glean JS. Like, should I be changing this probe? What is this test for? Europe says no. Okay, thank you very much, Europe, for reporting in. Anyone outside of Europe? Add telemetry turn. Okay, so this I think we can get rid of. Browser new tab Glean. RM browser extensions new tab test browser new tab Glean. Then we have to get rid of it in the manifest. Glean. And then what else? Is there any handoff stuff in here? No. Okay. So let's build. Oh, first we'll mock new tab bundle. Mock build faster. We'll run our tests one more time. We'll see where we're at. Okay, people outside of Canada, what are your local cough and cold remedies that we may not have heard of over here in Canada? Do you have something that brands itself as truly awful but effective, like Buckley's? Let us know. Let us know in the chat while I pop another Fisherman's Friend. I'm gonna clear this entire bag before this stream is over. Yeah, chat, let me know. Okay, that all passed. Bunch of warnings, but I think they're unrelated. I think there are other tests as well. Let me just check those other tests. XPC shell. We'll run the XPC shell tests as well. Okay. Now that we've done that, the whole like handoff thing is, I'm fairly certain Like, I thought it was mostly built into... Oh, yeah. Content search handoff controller. It is handled by that. Do search handoff. But here... It's very, like... New tabby. About private browsing. Right. That's another thing that... Handoff search. Yeah, it only does handoff search. Search underscore handoff. Event, user event. And then activity stream events. Oh, I see. It's really just for telemetry. Dispatch user event. Then there's like fake focus search. What is that? Reducers. Assign fake focus is true. Fake focus search. Take fake focus. Fake and fake focus filter. What is about private browsing doing? So like if I go here, it kind of looks similar, but we're gonna input fake editable, change it to be focused. Oh, I see the button. It's a button. Search handoff focused. Focus. Class. Focused. Fake focus. Where is that from? Fake focus. Oh. Fake carrot. So a lot of this is more complicated than I thought. It's really entwined with NewTab. I did not realize how entwined it was, but it's very entwined. And they basically had to re-implement a lot of this stuff. Like this is implemented completely differently from this, which is a real shame. You don't want that. You want something that is consistent. So in a way, we're doing good works here. What's up with? Oh, that's part of the streetcar. I'm like, why is there a black box above my head? It's part of the streetcar. It's by design. It's by design. Okay, so I'm starting to get a better shape of this thing. We do have our test passing. That's good. So the first step was to, and the last thing is to, some of these aren't used. I guess we can clean that up. Get rid of that. Mock, lint, outgoing fix. also have to find the pref handoff. We're gonna get rid of the pref. Checking the chat again. I didn't see any traffic in there. I'm gonna ask the room once more. Do you have something like Buckley's in your country that tastes awful but is really great for cold symptoms like coughs and blocked up sinuses? Handoff preference and non-handoff sport in new tab. Oh, you know what I else needed? The other thing I need to do is bundle because of that change I made, and we're going to squash that in. Something called Kanjang. Don't think it's local, and it does not taste bad. Herbal medicine. It looks like serious stuff. Like, I feel like the darker the liquid, the more serious it is. Maybe that's like that's not based on anything scientific. I don't know. Those could also be like sketchy pharmaceuticals, sketchy online pharmaceuticals. But I trust you. Sounds like this is some good stuff. Good cold defense. I'm getting a real lemony vibe from this image. That's interesting. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna absorb that. Absorb what? Nothing changed. Are you squash? Squash. There we go. So the next step, there's probably a lot of stuff that's not useful anymore that the old handoff mode was relying on, or non-handoff mode. So there was this like content search controller, UI controller. Who else is using that? Turns out nobody. Well, maybe content search UI. Oh, that's for a test. Okay. And where's that defined? Here. And then you've got presumably some kind of handoff variant. Where's the handoff variant? Handoff controller. Content search handoff UI controller. Where's that from? The content search handoff UI. Much simpler. Much, much simpler. Okay, so we're going to get rid of the content search UI controller and the test. Okay, so RM browser component search content search UI dot JS gone. And now what uses content search UI dot CSS? What uses that? So we're gonna have to get rid of some references. Oh no, is that CSS still used by content search handoff UI? What's in here? For suggestions. Let's open up private browsing. Take a look at the style editor. Do we have something called content search in here? Content search. No. And if I open up new tab, hang on. I will have content search here. Can I disable it? And it has no impact. So we can probably just get rid of it altogether. Nice. So content search UI CSS. We're going to get rid of that. That means also getting rid of the jar entries for them. Russian national recipe. This is from Vatamon. You ready for this? A solution of 1 teaspoon of baking soda, pure, without additives, 0.7 teaspoons of salt, and a cup of warm water. That sounds awful. Warm water, salt, and baking soda. Sounds awful, but probably it would work. It's like the Buckley's formula. Tastes awful, but it works. Gargle and run it down the nostrils to rinse that area. I remember hearing about, like, if you you want to be careful about putting, like, tap water up your nose. Nasal, neti pot. What is it? The you can get brain-eating something. Is this true? Amoeba. This is from NPR. Man in Southwest Florida died after becoming infected with a rare brain-eating amoeba. Possibly as a result of a sinus rinse practicing utilizing tap water. It lives in warm, fresh water. And you can get meningoencephalitis. You want to be careful about that. You want to use... They're usually safe and effective when used in clean properly. That means no rinsing with tap water. Use distilled or sterile water. Or tap water that's been boiled and then cooled. And clean hands. You don't want to get that brain-eating amoeba. Yeah, don't drink it though. Spew it out for sure. We could always use boiled water. Yeah, and then let it cool, I assume, Vatamon. All right. So we've gotten rid of the content search stuff. There are probably some tests. There are usages in a couple of different places here that we need to get rid of. About, new, tab, child. Content search. Content search UI. And then we need to run this program. Mock npm node browser bin render activity stream. Yeah, that's what we want. And then how about those tests? Content search. Is anyone else using content search bad image.xml? No. So we can get rid of that. Is anyone else using content search suggestions.sjs? No. Or content search suggestions.xml? No. Okay, so we can get rid of those. Browser. Component search, test, browser. And then what was the other one? SJS. And then test engine Chrome icon .xml. Sounds like we can get rid of that as well. Oh. And then over here, and we're going to get rid of this. What's the difference? Oh, man, now that I think about it, what's the difference between browser content search and browser content search UI? I should probably know what we're talking about here. Service client. Content. What is this? Adds a new tab, waits for state, sends get state. Get state. Search. That's content search UI. What is the difference between content test content search UI and content search? This one. When was this one introduced? Oh, wait. Go back. More. Base. We're back in 2017. Add search field to the new tab page. Back in 2014. Oh, geez. Okay. So yeah. I don't think we need either of them. What's the difference between that and browser content search UI? I think one of them is a little more integration. This one is testing sort of an extracted instance of the search input. Okay. Okay. So we're going to get rid of that. We're going to get rid of browser, component search, test, browser, content search UI. What's search UI default? Handoff. There's still a usage of the handoff pref here. Gang. I missed one. I removed the pref and I shouldn't have. Okay, hold up. I'm going to commit what I have so far. going to edit the handoff, the prior patch by restoring browser app profile firefox.js. And now we'll go back over here. The pref now still exists, but we have a lot of places where we need to like this is where we'll get rid of it in this patch now. Handoff pref, what are you doing with it? We'll push it, we'll make it that handoff is true. Search attributes, no handoff. Handoff is true. Okay, so we're gonna edit this. We're not gonna delete this test. Search content test. Search test browser. Handoff is true. We're going to get rid of the one where the handoff is false. And then we're going to get rid of all notion of handoff. So this should run. That should pass. Oh, doesn't know what I'm talking about. Toml file. Error processing the manifest. Oh, I got rid of. Right. Okay. Which, let's just double check here. This didn't have handoff. No, it only tested the non-handoff mode, and then this one has no notion of handoff. Does this suite like do anything about handoff in? Okay, so it's complaining that this one's missing, so we're gonna get rid of that. And I also got rid of browser. Well, I didn't get rid of this one, but I expect that one to fail actually. So let's try running it. Mock test. Doesn't know what this is. Content search bad image. So it needed that? Oh, so it did. What? Wait. What? I should put these back. I should put these back for now. Hold on. JJ restore that. JJ restore browser cons search test browser content search suggestions .sjs. What's going on here? My Let's try those again. Done. And then this one. That back. We're going to put back the XML. And the test engine Chrome icon. Test engine Chrome icon XML. This is all just to verify that that test isn't needed anymore. I'm going to actually run it. I'm going to expect it to fail because it's testing the non-handoff mode. Well, first of all, we'll run this one. This one does test the handoff mode. And if we have a crash, fail. Why did we crash? Did we crash because we're trying to load something that isn't there? We may have to do a artifact debug build. mk moz config artifact debug. What? Moz configs artifact. Artifact debug. And how do I tell it I want to use debug? Enable debug. Go ahead and build. Monday on Wednesday? Monday on Wednesday, meaning things don't seem to pan out. What are we talking about here, Smurf D? Did I black out? Why are we talking about Monday on Wednesday? That is hard to conceive. Monday on Wednesday. That's a very difficult thing for me to visualize. No, I mean Mondays tend to be bad days when things don't go as planned. Oh, I understand. You're talking about having a bad case of the Mondays, which is an old Office Space reference. Getting a bunch of symbols. Come on now. I just want to find out why I'm crashing. It's probably because I'm trying to access a file that's not there anymore. That's the sort of thing that we will throw exceptions on and assertions and explode on whenever it's like supposed to be built into the resource archive. We tend to explode pretty loudly. Zucchini G-Test Sim. Wild. Downloading. So much downloading. Woo! Okay. We've got maybe 20 minutes left before I call it. Let's see here. How are we doing on this build? Okay. Now run the test. I'm expecting to see an exception thrown. Okay, we got ourselves a crash. Initializing stack fixing. Let's get our stack trace. Here's our exception. Hit Moz crash. Missing Chrome or resource URL. That's what it is. So what's attempting to use that? New tab. Right. There's still more to be removed. Okay. Build with artifact. Page, HTML template, content search UI. We also want to get rid of it. Should be gone from there, right? Render. No, we still left it. Okay, so get rid of those. Rerun the mock node. Build faster, run the test. Perfect. Okay, and now we want to run the other one. I'm gonna put the old what? Browser. Browser content search should still be there. Browser content search, not UI. Okay. I expect this to fail with gusto. Oh, still useful, I guess. I don't know how though. Content search. I've gotten rid of. What's content search? Oh, you know what it is? I think it's the actors. Message. I think it's the actors. Details. Wait for new engine. So this is testing the actor. Okay. Let's now run the entire search directory. We'll go headless. But if that works, then the next step is to make the handoff mode. Ooh, got a failure here. And this one, about home search post. So that one probably needs to be updated. But then the aim is to make the handoff mode more easily embedded, or we just have it be a self-contained custom element with its own like little shadow DOM and styles and stuff. I don't know what this is all about. Oh, this is just sitting here, eh? What's the deal with that? Hopefully this test... Oh, and then we move on. Fail. Google behavior. It's waiting a full 36 seconds. 3,600 seconds. That's too long. About home. Browser, about home, search post, and about home, search composing. So let's take a look at those. Right, here's another test which uses handoff to search bar. Yeah, there's a bunch of this I think we can remove. This is basically a laundry list of stuff to remove the support for. So we can just remove this test entirely. I don't know where we are in our test runs. Search telemetry. Search browser telemetry. Oh, okay, so we're almost done then. We're just categorization. Hey, we're not almost done. All right, stop. Let's get rid of all of the ones that have these prefs. I know I can get rid of this test because it only runs in the false condition, which we're removing support for. So let's go ahead and get rid of this test. And we'll go ahead and update browser.ini or browser.toml. What? What? Oh, I'm in the wrong folder. Oh, and I've gone cross-eyed. There it is. It sounds like we can get rid of print post data.sjs too. That's nice. I assume there's nothing else making reference to those. Oh, no, I'm wrong. Oh, there are multiple copies? There are multiple copies of it. Okay, well, I can get rid of the ones here. Post search engine, and what's the other thing? Print post data. Once again, there are multiple there are 3 copies of it. Lovely. Okay, I think we're safe to get rid of the one under search. Okay. And then we get rid of this entry. Okay, so that's next. Excuse me. Oh, need a fisherman's friend. Composing. What is this thing? Only runs in the false condition? Yep. So we can get rid of that. Composing, which means well, we still need this test uses it, and we haven't determined whether or not we can keep this test, so we'll just get rid of the entry. Next. And now it's that one. Handoff. Yeah. Yeah. We can absolutely get rid of this one. Is there anything else using that? Last used pref. So it is being used. Search suggestion engine still being used, and then search suggestion. Okay, so I'll leave it. I'll leave it for now. We'll just get rid of that. Okay. What was the next one? Content search UI default. I think we already looked at that. Handoff is handoff. I guess we should update this. There's never a case where it's not a handoff. It is handoff. It's always the case. This is a handoff. And then we get rid of run new tab test. Get rid of that condition. All right. What was the next one? Google behavior. Handoff is false. Ah. Promise content search ready. I don't think we need this new tab search test anymore. Name, pref, name. Okay, get rid of this. Handoff related there. Is content search ready again? I think we can get rid of that. Search telemetry about home. Setup search. I think this whole thing can go away. Copy path. That's browser search telemetry about home. Telemetry search telemetry content. Test about new tab. We don't need that. Okay, next. Search telemetry sources. Okay, this one defaults handoff to true, so that's good. So we'll go ahead and just get rid of that whole condition. And this one, that's handoff true. Handoff false. That's in check about page. Wait a second. Wait for the full load. Handoff to awesome bars. False. Wait for the default engine to be set. Type in search field. Synthesize key. And link clicking. Okay, so I think we can get rid of this one as well. Sources about. Sources web extension. Reference URL bar telemetry handoff. Insert handoff result. So that's going to default to true. So I don't need that anymore. Good. Okay, and then this we'd already fixed this one. Yeah, and then that one we'd also already fixed. So let us now run the search tests, but I'm going to run them. Do you do C++? Yes, sometimes. It used to be my dominant language. I started writing a lot of JavaScript, so I flip back and forth between JavaScript and C++. Let's run the search tests. Let's just see how long this takes. I'm gonna give it a maximum. Let's set a timer. Hey, I'm almost done. I'm about to end the stream. I'm gonna set a timer. If the tests aren't done, by 3 minutes, then I'm gonna call it. But yeah, pretty broken phone, eh? So, in these 3 minutes, does anyone have any questions they want to ask? About what I've been doing today, what the handoff even is, C++ questions for the flying heifer. Go ahead. You can ask me about my cold. Feel free. Just drop them in the chat. I'm watching the chat. How's the cold? Great question. I'm coming on the other. I'm off almost out the other side. It was brutal because I got sick on the weekend, which is when you'd normally want to just sort of be enjoying yourself. So cards on the table. The Jays lost the World Series, and I think at that point my immune system just was like, let's give up. I think that's what happened. But I'm on the other side of it now. Okay, how much time is left? I see. Great, says Smurf D. Thanks. I'm glad I was able to answer your question. I was able to relate the Jays losing to you getting a cold. 100%. That's exactly right. I don't know. It's going around. I'd also just gotten my flu and COVID shot earlier that week, and the shot hit me like a ton of bricks. I got the jab. I got it all in one arm. It was really intense for 2 days, where I felt pretty bad, muscle soreness. I went to bed pretty early that night. But then I was coming out the other side of it, and then the Jays lost the World Series, and then I think my body was like, let's get sick for real. But I think I'm mostly better now. Any other questions before time runs out? We got 27 seconds. Did you have a cold only? I must have started with a viral infection. Now it's only a cold. Great question. In a way, a cold, as I understand it, typical colds are viral infections. The rhinovirus is that's your typical cold virus right there. So it was probably a viral infection. Yeah. I wonder if that's the time. I wonder if my immune system was kind of so occupied taking out the fake stuff from the vaccine that it a virus that I'm not a virologist, don't listen to me, but I wonder if it was my mental model of how an immune system works is it's less like a muscle and more like an army. And so if it's busy combating a bunch of vaccine stuff to train itself, maybe another virus that was already kind of around me took advantage. Or maybe that makes no sense because a fully primed immune system that's taking care of something else, maybe it should have been extra incentivized to take out a different virus. I have no idea. But we're here to listen to you. Listen to me about stuff I know about, which is programming and web browsers and JavaScript and C++. Do not listen to me do not take medical, financial, or life advice from me. Certainly, I am not a doctor. Vohio, says Vadamon. Okay, well, this is still running. We're deep within the browser telemetry search. I'm gonna end the stream. Hey, thank you so much for watching episode 419 of The Joy of Coding. There's no episode next week. I'll be back the week after with episode 420. If you are a marijuana enthusiast, that number may be amusing to you. I do not smoke marijuana. So I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm not going to do any kind of like 420 related jokes because it's just, that's not even my world. I'm not like, if that's your thing, that's cool, but it's not really a thing. That's another thing you shouldn't listen to me about. I don't know anything about marijuana. So anyways, I'll be doing episode 420 the week after next. This is the only time I'm going to reference the 420 thing. And with that, I'm going to call it. Hey, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you thought. There's a link in the agenda. I'm going to focus the agenda for a sec. Sorry, Test. There's a link in the agenda to rate this episode. Link to rate this episode. Thanks for hanging out with me while I was sick. And hanging out and you know, working on this stuff with me. And with that, I'm going to call it. Thanks for watching episode 419. I'll see you the week after next, hopefully. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
The joy of coding.
See ya.